Alexandra Kazarian represents Erik and Lyle alongside our pal Mark Garagos, and it is her signature on the document that's going to the judge. So congratulations are due. Obviously, this has been long fought on your part, on Mark's part, and obviously the Menendez brothers' part. What are the chances, though, that the judge greenlights this?
I think the chances are good now that we have a recommendation from the DA. And I think the DA gave a conservative recommendation, which is, a little bit disappointing because we were hoping that it might be a recommendation of time served. But I think the fact that it was a conservative recommendation helps give the judge the ability to grant it without really making too many waves.
So George Gascon's office, there are many people in that office. He admits there are many people in that office that oppose his move here. And then we've heard homicide prosecutors in the past from that office say that they feel that there is a majority within that DA's office that opposes this. And I see you tilting your head. What do you say to that?
I don't know if there's a majority. I know that all of the prosecutors that are still at the DA's office who worked on the Menendez case, on the convictions, are opposed to this, because how could you not be? How could you be somebody that argued to 48 people, because there were two different trials, two different times. So you argued to 48 people that these two people should be put to death. They sought the death penalty. So everyone that worked on this case tried to get the death penalty for these two people. And now seeing that they have what looks like been redeemed, that they have turned their lives around, that they have been exemplary, probably the best prisoners that have ever come out of the California penitentiary system. How do you resolve those two things? I asked 48 people essentially to kill these two brothers, and now they've redeemed themselves. I don't know how you sleep at night knowing those two things. So I understand why people who worked on the case would be opposed to the idea that they are redeemed or that they should be released.
Let me ask you this. I know that you have a lot of family members of the Menendez brothers in your corner, family members of the deceased, of both mom and dad, right? Jose and Kitty's own family members, siblings. But there is one who stands out. His name is Uncle Milton, and he filed a very powerful amicus brief today. I read it. It's strong, and it sounds like he is holding nothing back. Do you think it is powerful enough to be a hurdle or a roadblock here?
He filed an amicus brief in the habeas petition, and we are now in resentencing. So the habeas is on hold. The resentencing is what matters. So that is
weirdly. I talked to his attorney, and that's coming up, Alexandria. And I asked, "Are you?" I was talking about this particular track, which is now. I think we're on 30 days or so. Maybe the judge will hold a hearing on it. Maybe the judge won't hold a hearing on it, but is certainly going to take all of this under advisement. I asked her about that, and it seemed as though this is what they were fighting. This track.
She may be confused because she filed it in the habeas, which is in front of Judge Ryan, and we don't know who we're going to be in front of, but it's a separate track.
Okay. Well, and she didn't say that at 90 years old he's going to stand up and actually be there, but she did say he wants to be heard. She also had a lot of, the lawyer for this 90-year-old Uncle Milton had a lot of concerns that the DA hadn't really taken his concerns into account, hadn't reached out to him, hadn't let him know about any of this. And he found out on TV like the rest of us. Can I ask you this? Let's say that the judge does grant this resentencing. Do you have any concerns about the parole board saying, too bad?
Well, we never know what anybody's going to do. And we've represented people before on resentencings. We've represented people who have been granted parole by the parole board and they've been blocked by the governor. But there's always something else that can happen. There's always, if they are eligible and if they truly deserve to be released, then they will be. And so we believe that's going to happen. Exactly how it's going to happen, we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. They're coming out.
Okay, and then what about that next layer of thick politics, and that's Gavin Newsom? I remember talking to somebody about the parole board in New York when it came to John Lennon's killer, and they said no one's ever going to be the one to say we're going to let him out. I wonder if there's any concern for Gavin Newsom, who'd say I'm not going to be the guy that lets the Menendez brothers out. Do you have that concern at all?
There's always a concern that when we get to the next step, it's not going to go the way we want. But if he does that, there are things that we do, that we take steps to we take the next step and we get them out. We will get them out. So if somebody has an issue and raises a blockade along the way, it's just another step. But I believe wholeheartedly that everyone ultimately will see, especially after looking at everything that they've done while they've been incarcerated, everyone will see that it's time.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.